of a task
Brian,
in
I'll
the
just
second
jump in.
half.
The final whistle's just gone in Faro. Unfortunately, Ireland have been on the end of a Cristiano Ronaldo, I suppose, masterclass. He's shown what he can do. He got an 89th minute equaliser, and then in the 6th minute of injury time, he made it 2-1. 2 headers. What's your initial reaction?
Well, my initial reaction is disaster. It's a disastrous finish to the match for a team that had played bravely. The manager made a lot of brave selections in starting with Jamie McGrath, who had 8 minutes against Andorra, and putting in 3 young players. I'd say 2 in the front positions, and Omar Badali in at the back instead of O'Shea when he went off. And it was a very good performance up until the last few minutes, but we did get pushed back and pinned back into our own penalty area. It didn't look like the goal was inevitable. Bazunu had made some good saves. He didn't have to make a lot of great saves. It looked like we'd hang on. And in fact, Ronaldo had been quite poor in the match. After he missed the penalty kick, there was very little involvement of him. But he just pulled it out when they needed it very badly. And there were 2 brilliant headed goals. He found those couple of yards in space between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot. And it's devastating for the Irish team because they played well on the night, but we've ended up with no points from 3 games, unfortunately.
Jamie, as Brian says, they're devastating for Ireland when you're in the lead up until the 89th minute. I mean, what do you say? What can you take from that?
Heartbreaking, really, to be honest. I was so excited that, we thought we were going to get all 3 points, and they've done so well. And the 3 points up until 89 minutes wouldn't have been a smash and grab. It was only the last maybe 15 minutes of the game where Portugal really started piling on the pressure. But we were dealing with it. We were getting bodies in the way, we were blocking shots. Shane Duffy was to the fore. I mean, it really looked like going to be one of the great nights for Irish football. But Cristiano Ronaldo is who he is for a reason. He didn't just pass Ali Dai. He's now well past him with 2 goals. One would have done him. He missed a penalty, but 2 incredible headers. I mean, 2 brilliant leaps from him. Devastating for Stephen. It would have been the one result that if he could have even a draw, it would have been something that we were saying he needs to get points on the board rather than just talking about performances and glimpses and moments and change and progression and all this talk. A point even would have been fantastic, but it's not to be. But look, we come out of here with pride. I know it's not a lot, and I know that we will harp on and say he needs to start turning into results, and that needs to start in the next game. He's got 2 huge games coming up. I can't tell you how big they are, and he has to produce the same level of performance, and he has to get 6 points. There's no 2 ways about it, because now he needs to start turning performances into points.
Brian, when you look at that performance that you got tonight from the side, I know fans, certain factions of the media might be sick of hearing about the performances we're getting from the Stephen Kenny side, and might be thinking, where are the results coming from? But when you look at the Azerbaijan game, the Serbia game, these are 2 crucial games, and maybe 6 points might be needed from them.
Well, 6 points is needed for us to be in the group in any sort of contention, because if we beat Serbia, we keep them back a little bit, and we could possibly be talking about 2nd place. I think we're done. I think 3 defeats at the start, unless we won the last 5 games, I think we're done, which is massively disappointing. It's hard to speak about it logically, because as Damien said, it looked like we were going to win the match until the 88th minute, but we were getting pushed back further and further deeper to go. We'd only 32% possession overall. It was a different type of Irish performance.
That's to be expected, though, against the likes of
Exactly,
Portugal.
but it's fine. It's fine to play like that and to be forced back deep and to end up with a back 5 in place and 4 not too far away from them in front, and your front man helping out. But that's the nature of the level we are at, and I think it's good that Stephen seems to have accepted that now, that we can't always dominate the game against better quality opposition in all areas of the pitch. We were forced back deep. They, I think, had 28 attempts on goal. A lot of them were brutal, frankly, and they looked like they had lost they'd lost their confidence and they were getting ragged looking until the last 10 minutes of the game. They made a lot of substitutions, and the substitution had an impact, particularly Guedes on the right hand side. But ultimately it came down to Ronaldo's determination to rescue himself from what would have been criticism, I would think, on his performance and on missing the penalty. But there was a lot of excellent performance in the Irish team. Matt Doherty was his best game for Ireland. He might have got out and helped to stop the crosses near the end. He was getting very tired. James Coleman, the great game. The 3 centre-backs did well. We did okay in the middle of the field. The front players didn't hold the ball up well enough, often enough for me, as we pointed out before the match. Adam Idah and Connolly had a couple of good chances and he didn't take them. Jamie McGrath worked hard, worked around well, but his options were probably limited to change. And McLean came on and did reasonably well, worked hard, I felt, late in the game. Collins come on, didn't have much opportunity, but